kiddo.
Oh, no. No. I'm not even sick this time. And for the last time, I'm older than you.
So you're saying you don't want to watch a movie?
Not if you're gonna do that voice. That's the Judas Project voice.
What's the Judas Project? I'm here to tell you the story of Hero.
What's Hero?
No, Hero. You gotta pronounce the exclamation point.
What? How? You didn't... whatever. What's it about?
It's about what if Christianity never happened and Jesus suddenly showed up today.
Oh boy. Alright, fine. I'll play. I got the Jesus movie checklist. How's the exposition?
Some text on the screen informs us that the world is run by the International Confederacy of Nations, or ICON for short. Additionally, every religion in the world has died out except one synagogue in Brooklyn.
How?
Not important.
I feel like that's really gonna be important.
Not relevant.
So, the entire Earth is run by one totalitarian state. I suppose that could have some interesting story potential. So, what's the world like? What's different?
Oh, yeah. So, there are homeless amputee veterans, prostitution, protection rackets, gang violence, random shootings.
I'm pretty sure we already have all those things.
What about death? Do we have death? Well, what about gross miscarriages of justice?
Yep.
Huh.
What else happened in this timeline?
Oh, yeah, it's totally different. There was the Confederacy, the New York Yankees, 50 states, credit cards. The Star of David was adopted as the symbol of Judaism. Mount Rushmore with Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Roosevelt.
Franklin?
Nope, Teddy. There was also football, the Olympics, the punk movement, the space program, and Hitler.
Pretty sure we also still had all of that.
But did the government have little pentagrams on their uniforms?
Okay, that's different, I suppose. I'll give them that one. But I do have one question. I thought you said that all the world religions had died out. So what are the government officials doing being open Satanists?
Look, the people who made this musical don't know a whole lot about Satanism, okay?
I believe that.
Then there is Agent Hunter.
Who's he?
He's our narrator.
Oh, so is he one of the evangelists? Matthew?
Nah, he's a government agent who was sent to spy on Jesus.
Judas, maybe?
No, we already got one of those.
Peter?
Got one.
Alright, I give up. Who is he?
He switches sides and joins Jesus halfway through.
So he's Nicodemus.
Maybe. In the book trilogy based on this show.
There were books? Plural?
Oh, yeah. There was also a comic book.
Alright.
The comic was published in 4 issues, and the only way to get the 5th one was to buy it in trade.
I really need to stop asking questions.
Wait till I get going. Where was I?
Nicodemus.
Oh, that's right. So in the books, there is another character who fills that role by the name of Nick. And Agent Hunter is our protagonist investigating the murder of Washer John.
Washer John? John the Baptist is called Washer John? These people do realize that most people associate the word Baptist with John the Baptist in the first place, so there is nothing stopping him from reintroducing this word into society. Washer John just sounds like a toilet bowl cleaner.
From this day forth, all the toilets in this kingdom shall be known as John's.
So about Agent Hunter. He is in love with Maggie, played by Rebecca St. James.
I'm guessing Maggie is Mary Magdalene.
Well, she was a prostitute.
Yep, that's her. Okay, why is she making googly eyes at maybe Nicodemus? This is so people won't ship her with Jesus, isn't it?
Maggie tries to get Jesus to be her patron, but he turns her down. And for those of you who like to write fan fiction about contemporary Christian musicians, because I'm sure some of you are out there, here is a clip of Rebecca St. James hitting on Michael Tate. You are welcome.
Is there anything else particularly noteworthy about this Maggie?
She sings about as well as June Carter Cash. I don't know what you want from me.
Okay, great character. Tell me about Peter.
Petrov.
Gesundheit.
No, that's his name, Petrov. You can tell because it's written on his shirt.
That's always a good sign when your characters literally have to have their names on their shirts.
Just wait till Jude.
Anyway, why is he called Petrov? Magdalene gets shortened into a more contemporary Maggie, but Peter is already a normal name. Just call him Pete for crying out loud.
He starts out as a real bad dude. You can tell because he wears a Stars and Bars t-shirt, which he exchanges for an American flag shirt when he starts following Jesus.
Wow, nationalistic and bizarrely on the nose. So, what are his denials like?
What denials?
Alright, does he experience any character growth? Maybe evolving into the leader of the church that he's someday going to become?
Not really.
Does he at least get a who do you say that I am moment?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And the moment he says you are the Christ, the lights shut off and the scene's over.
Isn't Jesus supposed to say, that he's right?
Then there is Jude.
This should be good.
He follows Jesus because he believes he can be the PR guy and get his name in the papers when Jesus does something cool.
So he joins Jesus' ministry to bring glory to himself. Wasn't that the motivation of all the other disciples in Jesus Christ Superstar? Is this show just going out of its way to be the anti-superstar? You don't actually need a Christian alternative to Jesus Christ Superstar. Godspell is sitting right there.
Jude, of course, is unable to operate the t-shirt cannon that Jesus is using to feed the 5,000.
He does what?
Oh yeah, they feed people with a t-shirt cannon. Did I fail to mention that?
Yes, you did.
And the food is peppermint candy.
That is not even real food. They do that at parades. There is nothing miraculous about throwing candy into a crowd.
The more that Jude becomes self-obsessed, the more his name appears on his t-shirt.
That's subtle, I will grant you. Dumb, but subtle.
When he goes through with the betrayal because it'll get his name in the news, he wears a shirt with a dollar sign on it.
And all the subtlety you had just went out the window. Because we really need to drive home how greedy Judas is, because this is the anti-superstar. Wait, you said he betrays Jesus to get his name on the news? Who watches the news and goes, yeah, that guy! He ratted out his friend to the authorities for money! We gotta hook him up!
Now let us talk about Mama Mary. She is first introduced at the wedding in Brooklyn.
That does not have the same ring to it. But I guess they have her asking Jesus to turn the water into wine and thus starting his ministry. That's cool. What else does she do? You have no idea, do you?
The promotional material says that he was born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Don't tell me this is who those astronomers and Pastor Greg were going to go see.
And then she is invited to the last barbecue.
Well, I guess it's unusual for her to be included in the upper... Wait a minute, did you say the last barbecue?
Did I not mention that?
No, you didn't.
Oh.
Question, writers. If Judaism is the only religion that has survived in this alternate reality, why isn't the Last Supper still Passover? For all the thought that is put into Judaism in this show, it may as well not exist either.
You didn't let me finish. The disciples are so excited and they sing about what a great party it is and they do all of these cool dance moves.
Again, since when was the upper room a party? This show is so desperate to look cool and with it that I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen the preacher to the choir today.
He's still busy thinking about something. We need to talk about the bread and wine.
They're still drinking wine even though it's a barbecue. Those tastes are not even remotely complimentary. Why does it seem like this is something that would happen on an episode of Frasier and not the Bible?
Then there's Kai. What?
I'm waiting for you to finish saying his name.
No, that's it. It's just Kai.
His first name is Joseph. Why not call him Joe Caiaphas? Mr. Caiaphas if you have to.
They probably didn't even know that. His first name is never mentioned in the Bible, and who needs to do extra biblical research? Kai is the rabbi of the synagogue in Brooklyn, and he freaks out the moment Jesus turns water into wine. Then when Jesus announces that God's fire of love is raining down on all mankind, Kai says to his parishioners, "Get this sick fanatic. Make him bleed."
Why is he so threatened?
Kai basically spends every scene after that yelling angrily about Jesus, how he needs an icon license to heal people, how he's stirring up the masses, etc.
He needs a license?
Well, they say that, but then later a news anchor informs us that Jesus isn't actually breaking any laws, so... Jude also sings about how being connected to Kai can bring Jesus straight to the top.
To the top of what, exactly? No, seriously. In this context, how much authority does Kai actually have? He's just the rabbi of a synagogue in Brooklyn. Isn't that like saying knowing either of our dads makes us the head of the UN? Unless you're going to tell me that Kai is secretly pulling the strings of Icon the whole time.
Not really. He actually has to pay off the police in order to even keep his synagogue open.
So, why is anybody listening to a word he says? When you get right down to it, as an authority figure, he isn't one. If you wanted to play up the idea that this is the last remnants of Judaism, which has been said, and Kai is barely keeping it afloat as is, that could be fertile ground for him to say it might be better for one man to die. Basically implying that Kai just can't let the last remains of his religion be threatened by this rabble-rouser. But these writers aren't smart enough for that.
So when Jude goes to talk to Officer Devlin...
Who's Devlin?
Oh, he's the pilot stand-in, I think.
So, Jude had connections to the governing authorities all along and betrays Jesus directly to them. So what was the point of even having Kai at all?
Devlin talks a big game about how Jesus is none of his concern and Kai should just take care of it himself. Then with no apparent ramping up or change in Jesus' work, Devlin decides, you know what, this guy is threatening to me, and he starts laying the pressure on Kai to take care of it for him.
Sounds like this is a problem because you are making it your problem, sir.
They then arrest him and take him before... Oh, look at that. I was wrong. Devlin is not our pilot. Pilot is our pilot.
Oh, sure. Don't even bother changing his name. Also, why does he look like a cross between Dr. Strangelove and Christopher Plummer's Shakespeare-quoting Klingon? So, who does this make Devlin?
The devil.
Yes, I remember the part in the Bible where the devil took orders from Pilate.
Maybe they wanted to take Satan's involvement with Judas and literalize it.
Devlin never enters Judas's heart. He never tempts Jesus. We never see him make anybody sick. We never see Jesus bind him to plunder his house. We never see him really doing anything especially devilly.
That's the best I got for you.
Well, it's stupid. Anyway, what does our pilot actually do?
He talks to Jesus for a bit, and then he announces that he's tired, and
Kai, I have no energy for this.
he lets the mob do whatever they want with Jesus. So they beat him up in the street for a bit, and then they hang him up on a street sign, the corner of Liberty and Greenwich.
Oh boy, there is a lot to unpack here. Pilate doesn't even sentence Jesus to death? He has a mob of angry nobodies deal with it for him? Then what was the point of introducing this authoritarian government at all if they're not going to actually contribute to the story in the end? Also, since when did Pilate just get tuckered out in the middle of the trial and not want to deal with anything?
And Pilate said, you know what? You guys got me up super early this morning. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Give me that. Huh, what do you know? Furthermore, you didn't say the corner of Liberty and Greenwich, did you? As in a few streets down from Ground Zero? Jeez. I mean, I know it was 2003 and all of this was still relatively fresh in people's memories, but you didn't have to draw a line connecting it to the literal crucifixion of Jesus.
Oh my God, you're right. Look, I know a lot of people converted or became more serious about their faith in the aftermath of 9/11, but this just strikes me as skeevy. Literally conflating it with with the most important scene in Christian thought. You don't need to make this a grand narrative about America's crucifixion prefiguring its resurrection. Leave your nationalistic spin on Christianity at the door, thank you. And that goes for you too, Kevin Sorbo.
So, you good?
Of course, why do you ask?
Alright. So now that we got that out of our system, let's talk about Jesus.
Hero, and don't forget to...
Yeah. I got it. But why haven't you corrected me every other time I've called him Jesus?
Because his name is Jesus in this show.
Then why is it called Hero?
Because he's also called Hero, silly.
Why?
Because he's a hero to the people.
So is Tony Stark, but I'm pretty sure they came up with a better thing to call him other than Hero. Also, I'm pretty sure that hero means basically deliverer or rescuer, which is also what Jesus means, so I just assumed that was his given name. Why are we calling him both?
Hero is played by Michael Tate of the Newsboys.
Not of DC Talk?
Was he in both?
Yes, before Newsboys, in fact.
Look, I'm gonna level with you. I only know who he is because they were in God's Not Dead.
So we've talked about how Hero threatens those who are in power, or think that they're in power. So, what does he actually do?
He says the word love a lot.
And?
He talks about heaven sometimes.
And?
He heals people and tells them God loves them.
I'm still not seeing anything here that makes him a threat to the establishment.
But they call him a rebel.
How? You have to actually rebel against something in order to be a rebel.
What? No. He tells Jude and Peter...
Petrov?
He tells Jude and Petrov that he's not interested in politics. He's not even interested in race, which is, you know, the kind of thing that rich white Christians want to hear a black guy say.
So why are they so upset at him? Does he denounce the rich during the Sermon on the Mount or anything?
There is an answer to that, but you're not gonna like it.
So no. He says nothing that would actually upset anybody. His overall message is just, be generally nice and we can all go to heaven. No government on earth is going to be threatened by that. No religious authority is going to be threatened by that. They might laugh him out of the room, but that's about all that's really going to happen here.
But they're scared of the truth of the gospel.
No, they are not, because this is not the gospel. This is the gospel according to Hallmark. In its historical context, when Christians said, Jesus is Lord, this was threatening to the establishment because the implication that went with this was, and Caesar is not. If the kingdom of God is not an alternative path to the already set establishment, then what is even the point? These writers don't know a thing about rebellion. They just want the teenagers that are seeing this show to get hooked on the empty aesthetics of rebellion and then conveniently fall in line and be obedient to their parents and their church.
Look, you're very upset. You're taking this story very seriously. Maybe we should stop.
Oh, no. We're almost done. Let's just plow through this thing. You know, now that I think about it, does Hero do anything outside of New York City?
Well, not as such, no.
All he has to do is move to New Mexico and Kaya's off his back for good. Matter of fact, this just further proves my case that transplanting Jesus into modern-day America just does not work. Sure, you found a convenient Bethlehem, but the show doesn't even take place in Pennsylvania. You can't just take this narrative and put an early 2000s emo paint job on it. Both Godspell and Jesus Christ Superstar get away with this sort of thing because they're not really confined to any one time or place. This show does not have that leeway because of this half-hearted attempt at world building. If you're going to put Jesus in modern-day America, maybe try putting him in a version of modern-day America that, you know, actually exists.
Look, you're very upset.
I'm fine, let's do this.
So when Maggie goes to see Hero's body at the city morgue, a janitor informs her that he is not there.
You know, any rational person would probably assume that meant he was buried or cremated, but whatever.
But the janitor was Hero the whole time! Woo!
Then why did he say he's not there? If he is there to say that he's not there, he is, by definition, there. Also, This particular Jesus has never referred to himself in the third person before now, so why did you give him the angel's line?
Then we cut back to Agent Hunter in prison, wrapping up the story.
Why is he in prison?
He gave hero advice during the trial.
And that's punishable by imprisonment?
Authoritarians, what are you gonna do?
Did something!
It's a stupid something, but they did something.
Also, how does he even know about the resurrection? You just said that he was put in prison during the trial, which means that he would have been imprisoned before Jesus was even killed. For all we know, he's making this whole story up in jail.
Okay, so you didn't like the story. What did you think of the music?
Yeah! This music is really not that good. Look, I'm sure it is very challenging to come up with 2 hours worth of music, but most musicals manage to pull this off. This one didn't. There's maybe one song on this track that remotely sounded catchy to me, and that's probably because it reminded me of I Can Love You Like That by All For One.
Well, what did you think about the production quality?
You mean the lights that do more to obscure everybody because none of them are simple white spotlights? Or do you mean the utterly bland choreography? Or do you mean the obnoxious title cards that stay up for far too long every time we change scenes? Or do you mean the more impressionistic prop and costumes that backfire when they're unable to convey what they're supposed to be? Or do you mean the constant flashing of unrelated images on the big screens behind the players? Or do...
Okay, I get it. So you didn't like anything about the show?
Not really, no. I will give the performers this. They were doing their best with subpar material. But that's not enough to save it at all. I gotta give this one a don't bother. How this property got multimedia adaptations, I will never understand.
Oh, that's easy. The producers were just really hoping this would be a thing.
Well, thankfully for us, it didn't become one. Thank you for joining us for Faith on Film. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Nathan. And Steph, I wouldn't completely write off the option of a modern-day Jesus.
Oh?
You'll see!
That's the Judas Project voice!
What's the Judas